But first, the latest on what's happening with your weather. I'm Lynn Brooks.
And I'm Terry Brewer. Governor Robert Bentley has declared a state of emergency in Alabama following storms and flooding. Our top story at 5 o'clock shows you what the conditions are right now across the state. In West Alabama, the situation hasn't been as severe, but we have seen some heavy rain overnight that left many people starting off their day sloshing through water. This video is from Tuscaloosa, just off 10th Avenue. And the situation is more serious in Mobile and Baldwin counties, where unconfirmed tornadoes appear to have touched down. The governor's office says damage has been reported in 17 Alabama counties. The state of emergency we are under means the Alabama Emergency Management Agency can help communities assess damage and seek state and federal assistance. And the storms have affected people outside Alabama across the southeast. This video is from New Orleans. Several inches of rain fell there this morning, making it difficult for drivers to make their way to work. Heavy rain also flooded streets. So is more rain on the way to our neck of the woods. Let's get a first check of Alabama's home team weather with Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott. Hey, Richard.
Hey, Terry, I've got some good news in the weather department. We do have some storms out there, but all the heavy rain we had last night, early this morning, it's long gone. Still some spotty showers and storms that are working across the northwestern counties. These should be through Tuscaloosa here by 5:45 or 6 o'clock or so. And then after that, cooler air arrives tonight. Temperatures do fall pretty quickly. We're talking low 50s by 10 o'clock tonight, upper 40s by midnight. Storms will be gone. We'll have much more in home team weather, which includes a cool down and a warm up. Stay with us for that.
State mental health officials are speaking out about the closing of Partlow Developmental Center. Officials announced they will close the Tuscaloosa facility September 30th. That means more than 400 people will be looking for new jobs, and more than 150 residents will be transitioned into our community. Feelings about the closure are mixed. The state mental health commissioner tells WVUA they will do their very best to help all employees that want a job to get one, and also that they want the families to feel like they are part of the choices they make for their loved ones. An official told us the patients do better in a community setting.
The research and data is consistent that they perform much better at a community level than they do in an institutional setting. You know, I think it's important that we realize that what worked 30 years ago is not necessarily going to work in 2011.
Spokesman John Ziegler says the commissioner will be meeting with employees Thursday on an individual basis. Well, statistics show car crashes are the #1 killer of teenagers.
And one group is trying to fight that by getting teens to stop texting when they're behind the wheel. Today, students at Tuscaloosa County's Hillcrest High School promised to X the text. They joined more than 125,000 others nationwide by taking the blue thumb band as a reminder of the danger. Even faculty and staff at Hillcrest took part, promising to put down their phones. Students and teachers say there are a lot of things that can take your eyes off the road, but texting is different.
The radio, your face, like your hair, anything could be a distraction, like everything. People in the car can be a distraction, you know. They talk to you, be like, hey, look at this text or something.
That person is sending you a message and you immediately think, oh yes, and that draws you to that moment in time, as opposed to being focused on, I'm driving a car that's going 50 miles an hour and there are other people around.
Lower thirds.
All-State Representative Amber Capel compares 5 seconds of distracted driving to driving the length of a football field blindfolded. U.S. transportation officials say in 2009, more than 5,000 people's lives were taken in distracted driving accidents. And in Hale County, last night's Board of Education meeting drew a crowd. Many Moundville residents say they came because they're concerned the board might close Hale County High School. Moundville Mayor Joshua Wyatt says he's heard talk of the closure for several years, but the chair of the Hale County Board of Education says there's been no talk of closing any school in the county since November. Also at last night's meeting, the board chose O.C. Pickens as interim superintendent.
New for you at 5, it's a dream come true for 8 Tuscaloosa families who are now in brand new homes. The Tuscaloosa Housing Authority hosted a ribbon-cutting ceremony today at Cordell Heights. Residents of these homes are actually purchasing their homes, and they went through a training course on home ownership prior to today's event. New homeowner Winifred Gamble says she's always dreamed of this day.
Just go for your dream and it'll come true. It may take some time, but it will come true. Mine did.
This means that it is an opportunity not only for the families to have home ownership, but an opportunity for them to own their own home.
Cordell Heights is next to Mackenzie Court in West Tuscaloosa.
Alabama's DROP program is one step closer to becoming a thing of the past. DROP stands for the Deferred Retirement Benefit Program. It allows public employees who are at least 55 years old and have 25 years of service to continue their state jobs while at the same time putting their retirement benefits into a special interest-bearing account for up to 5 years. On Tuesday, the Alabama Senate voted to end DROP. Now the bill heads to the House. Some say it will encourage good teachers to retire and begin second careers in neighboring states if the DROP program is ended. Tragic incidences of bullying have made news lately, and now the first couple is taking an anti-bullying message to Facebook.
A video posted by the Obamas promotes a bullying prevention conference they'll host at the White House tomorrow. It'll bring parents, students, and educators together to talk about ways to stop bullying. The president says bullying should no longer be treated as an unavoidable part of growing up. And as the parents of 2 daughters, the Obamas have said this is a personal issue for them.
We're seeing how harmful it can be for our kids, especially when it follows them from their school to their phone to their computer screen. The good news is that there's a growing movement, led by young people themselves, to make our schools and communities places where no one is made to feel alone.
The president also had an anti-bullying message last year following a string of bullying-related suicides by young people. New for you at 5, the suspect in the Tucson, Arizona shooting rampage has pleaded not guilty to dozens of new federal charges that accuse him of killing 6 people and wounding 13 others. Jared Lee Loughner entered the plea to charges that include trying to assassinate Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords. The attack happened outside a grocery store back on January 8th. And it's the final landing for Space Shuttle Discovery. This morning's smooth landing at Kennedy Space Center in Florida marks the end of Discovery's career. It spent 365 days in space during its lifetime. Discovery will now go on display at the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. The nearly 3 decades old shuttle program is scheduled to end later this year.